The National Commissioner alleges that it was indicated to him that I am close friends with Mr. MATLALA. I vehemently deny that I am or have ever been a close friend of MATLALA. Any assertion to that effect is false. No credible evidence has been produced to establish that I am friends with MATLALA.
Did a friendship develop or not?
We didn't develop a friendship, but we have interacted. Uh, 155 conversation extracted from Vusimusikat MATLALA's phone pertaining to my name. General Mkhwanazi has further sought to rely on alleged WhatsApp messages said to have been extracted from a cellular telephone reportedly removed from one Vusimusikat MATLALA, which messages are alleged to contain references to me. I place on record that I was not a participant in those conversations, as it is evident from the material relied upon. My name is merely mentioned. I did not form part of the messaging group or the exchanges themselves. The conversations in question are said to be between one Brown MOGOTSI and MATLALA, in which my name is purportedly referenced. I have no knowledge or involvement in those exchanges and no information as to how these alleged messages were extracted, preserved, or presented to the Commission. It is entirely unclear how these messages were obtained, what methodology was employed in their extraction, and whether their integrity and authenticity have been preserved. Accordingly, I am unable to confirm the authenticity, accuracy, or context of these purported WhatsApp communications and cannot speak to their legitimacy, completeness, or reliability. Any attempt to rely on these alleged messages as evidence against me is therefore misleading and unfair, as it attributes to me statements and discussions in which I played no part
Yes.
whatsoever. Other inconsistencies noted in General Mkhwanazi's evidence. Another challenging aspect is that the evidence of General Mkhwanazi raises material concerns in my view. It is notable that he did not inform this commission that there had been an attempt to return the docket to KwaZulu-Natal, which he refused to accept. The fact only emerged during the ad hoc committee proceedings, and even then, only after I had mentioned it. Because this is how I corrected. Here he says only after he was expressly prompted. I expressed it there. It was not information that he volunteered to this commission. This omission is difficult to ignore and warrant scrutiny. In his press briefing held on 6 July, General Mkhwanazi stated that during 2024, he received a request from the Gauteng Organized Crime Unit to provide assistance in an investigation aimed at dismantling an organized crime syndicate. According to his statement, the syndicate was controlled from Gauteng but operated in the rest of the country and across other neighboring countries. General Mkhwanazi further stated that in his capacity as the provincial commissioner, he took a decision to deploy 10 members from the PKTT to support the Gauteng Organized Crime Unit in that investigation. In his testimony before his commission on 17 September 2025, General Mkhwanazi presented a materially different version. On that occasion, he stated that it was in fact General Khumalo in his capacity as Divisional Commissioner Crime Intelligence who, after registering a counterintelligence case, requested law enforcement support from outside the Gauteng province. According to this version, The purpose of the deployment was to ensure that the investigation conducted by the Gauteng Organized Crime Unit was protected. The divergence between General Mkhwanazi's public statement of 6 July 2025 and his sworn statement before this commission on 17 September 2025 raises a material issue regarding the reliability of his account. It is possible that the version presented by General Mkhwanazi before this commission was influenced by the fact that following his press briefing of 6 July 2025, Brigadier Hopane, the provincial head of organized crime for Gauteng, categorically denied that she had requested any form of assistance from General Mkhwanazi. In that context, the later version attributing the request to General Khumalo and to a counterintelligence investigation may have been advanced to address or explain that denial. These are the peripheral issues. The inconsistencies necessarily bears on the credibility and weight to be attached to his evidence and underscores the need for the Commission to assess the evidence with a particular care and to evaluate the consistency, reliability, and corroboration of the version presented. Now I'm getting to allegations made by the National Commissioner. I now proceed to address and canvass the allegations made by the National Commissioner during his testimony before the Commission from 22nd September 2023, 22 September to 23 September 2025. I address these allegations thematically. First, begin by dealing with the allegations concerning my purported relationship with MATLALA, Mr. MATLALA. Secondly, I address the investigation into the kidnapping of Jerry Boshoga. Thirdly, I deal with the National Commissioner's point of contention. Allegations concerning my purported relationship with MATLALA. The National Commissioner alleges that it was indicated to him that I am close friends with Mr. MATLALA. I vehemently deny that I am or have ever been a close friend of MATLALA. Any assertion to that effect is false. No credible evidence has been produced to establish that I am friends with MATLALA. In actual fact, I was introduced to MATLALA as a service provider of the South African Police Service. He is known in the subs because he was at that time running a hospital of the South African Police Service at the college. He was awarded a healthcare contract at the police college. During or about January 2024, when I was acting National Commissioner, MATLALA set up an appointment to visit me at my office with his attorney. On his visit, MATLALA was indeed accompanied by his attorney. MATLALA complained that he had been awarded the tender but was not allowed to use the facility and thus not able to deliver in terms of the tender agreement. MATLALA also had a letter from Public Works.
Sorry to interrupt you, General. A question of clarity. When you say he complained that he'd been awarded the tender, was not allowed to use the facility, which tender are you referring to? Is it the Medicare 24?
That is correct, Chair.
Okay, you may continue. You were at MATLALA also had a letter from Public Works.
MATLALA also had a letter from Public Works which confirmed that he received a lease agreement to utilize the said building. I informed him that I would discuss the matter with the National Commissioner upon his return. I consulted with the National Commissioner on the issue upon his return to the office. His response was that Public Works was not going to tell SAPS how to utilize the building. The National Commissioner asserted that MATLALA was not going to be allowed into the building. The tender nevertheless continued until May 2025. At this juncture, my involvement was limited to providing feedback to MATLALA on my interaction with the National Commissioner pertaining to his complaint, which I duly did. Paragraph 165. I reiterate that I had no prior knowledge of nor a relationship with MATLALA before the meeting held at my office. The suggestion that I am a close friend of MATLALA is untenable, given that I only met him for the first time in January 2024.
Can I just understand that last part where you say the suggestion that I'm a close friend is untenable given that I only met him for the first time in January 2024? Does this mean, and maybe let me ask my question, beyond January 2024, did a friendship develop or not?
We didn't develop a friendship, but we have interacted. And not to a level or to a point where I could say we were now friends. But because of the fact that at that point in time, he was really not under investigation nor under scrutiny, like the minister, former minister Bekele said at the ad hoc, the eyes then that looked at MATLALA are not the eyes that look at him now. At that point in time, there was nothing. But it doesn't mean that he became my friends. We were never friends.
You were never friends?
No.
Okay, thank you.